All right, good evening, everybody. My name is Theresa Krack, and I am your FY18 section rep. And we are here with our monthly digital digest, our online version. And I am here with Elaine and Sonia, and we are going to walk you through some pretty awesome stuff for this month. So, coming up for today's agenda, we're going to go through our events and activities highlights. We're going to talk about section business, some of the interesting stuff that's going on, and there's a fair amount of interesting stuff coming off of SWE 17, and that ties into our region and society information. And then we've got a rotating topic with Sonia bringing us information on the professional development side of our section. And then we will finally end with an Ask Me Anything, where you get to ask questions of the officers on the phone here. To ask questions, you can go ahead and put them in the chat sidebar on the live broadcast link on YouTube. You can put them over on our Facebook events page or on our Facebook posts that we just posted to say that we're live. And we've got hopefully some tag teaming going on so that we can monitor the questions as they come in and answer them when we get to the AMA. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get us ready for our minute or so with SWE PNW. So Elaine, if you want to take it away from here to get us going with our events and activities highlights.
All right. I'm Elaine Reeves. I am your president-elect for this year, and I'm also your college relations chair. So a big thing going on with SWE with our November dates is this event happening on the 9th, which is Thursday of this week. Beer and Engineer, a Tech Bridge fundraiser, and that's in Seattle. There's also the book club Smörgåsbord, which we'll talk about in a little bit. That is on the 12th, which is this Sunday, and that will be here in Redmond, but we're also doing a new format with it. On the 17th, we have our KICE event, Electricity Circuits and Series, and that is at Kimball Elementary School in Seattle, Washington. On the 15th, we have our sold-out Blue Origin Tour that it will be in Kent, Washington. On the 29th is a PSEC Mentor Night at Seattle University. They're looking for mentors of all backgrounds. I believe they're always asking for like EEs, CEs, and CSs. They get a lot of Emmys, but they're more than welcome to take anyone who will come. And then, of course, coming off of our SWE 17, it would behoove us to talk about SWE Local in Portland, which will be the closest SWE Local to us. That is April 4th through the 6th. And our last Lieutenant Governor, Nicole Woodman, really wants to have a good turnout from all the different areas. So mark your calendars for April to go to that event. And I will hand back to Theresa to talk about our ideas for book club this month.
So for November, we are doing a special edition of our book club. We are calling it a smorgasbord because we are going to go ahead and start with our planned book, My Life on the Road by Gloria Steinem. But then we're going to open it up for discussion on any of the past books that we've read. And you can see all of them over on the right-hand side. And they are also listed up on the Eventbrite page. So we just want to open up this book club to talk about any of the books that we've had on our list and see where the discussion leads us. And then the last part of our book club on Sunday is going to be, we want to have your feedback. So we're looking at how we can adjust the book club and see how it works with what members are looking for as we go forward in next year, 2018. So we want you to give us some feedback on that. And as Elaine mentioned, we're doing a little bit of a different format. We are working on a Redmond location where we can get together and potentially use a Google Hangout to connect to an alternate location. And we're going to be posting on that hopefully in the next day or so. I'm working final logistics on our second location to see if we can't get a couple of people that are more close to each other to powwow together and connect via a Google Hangout for some discussion. And we do have a moderator. Angela has agreed to be our moderator for our discussion on at least starting with the My Life on the Road book. And so we really look forward to a great discussion there. And so I think that takes us, Elaine, next to the special task forces. Did you want me to go through these, or did you want to do a quick run through?
I can take them. That's fine. So okay. We have a couple special task forces that we have been marinating over the past couple months to make sure that with everything that's going forward with the election process and everything else in our section, we first of all would like to look at our standard operating procedures. So we would like to find committee members that are willing and really like to get into like nitty-gritty details to help us figure out how to improve our standing operating procedures within the election cycle and also within our leadership team, so that we're not reinventing the wheel every year as new members come and go, and we can better fit into the new leadership competency model that is being put forth from society. With regions going away, we are talking about doing a section travel reimbursement policy. So this will be a policy that will help us, in theory, if we can figure this out and get it approved by the board, will help us reimburse for specific things for members going to conference representing our section. So in the past, for regions, it's usually just been room and board and sometimes airfare. And so we're looking at if we are going to take on that role now as a section, and we need people to give us feedback, give us thoughts, be on the committee to figure out how to do this going forward. And our third one is the section bylaws review and update. Our current bylaws do not meet what the new ones will be. We are wanting to get a group of people together in anticipation of the new bylaws coming through, so that we are ready to not only meet the needs of what society is asking us, but to meet the needs of our members. So there's the minimum of what society will be giving us, which should be coming in the coming months. And then there's the needs of what our members need here within the Pacific Northwest. So we need people who are really into looking at this stuff that want to help us with these things.
All right, thanks, Elaine. And if any of this sounds interesting to anybody, please email the section rep email. It's there at the bottom of the screen, and we'll also make sure it ends up in the comments for this event. And we'll get you connected to the right team that's starting to look at these issues. And if you're not interested in participating but have feedback, send that over to the section rep's email as well, as we'll be definitely soliciting member feedback as we go forward on these special task forces. And I'll bring us home on this minute or so with SWE PNW. And it's a quick reminder of we have many ways to connect with SWE PNW for events and updates on these task forces. Find us on our webpage, sync to our Google Calendar, continue to watch our Facebook page and our events listing there, and then make sure you're subscribed to our email list. And again, we'll make sure these links end up in the comments for this. So that wraps up our minute or so with SWE PNW with the latest and greatest on our events, highlights, and activities. So with that, we go over to our SWE business and behind the scenes, which I will go ahead and toss it back over to Elaine for as our president-elect. It's all yours, Elaine.
All right. So, go to the, okay. If we can go to the next slide. So first, looking at just our section as a whole, we are looking for people who would like to be our next group of officers and leaders. Or even if you just want to join a committee to kind of get a feel for what we do as officers within the SWE section. We have this great infographic that's been out on the Facebook for a couple days now. And these are pictures of us at actual events doing actual things where we're either hanging out, planning things for the next month or next few months ahead, and having fun. So anyone who's interested, you can contact any of the officers for further information on what they do as an officer, and we can start figuring out how best to insert you into the section. So the big topic of WE 17 was the last round of bylaws motions. All of them passed the Senate during the Senate meeting on Saturday at WE 17. So the first one, the Senate and regions. So the changes with the Senate is now we're going, instead of a 2-year model, to a 3-year term. The reason being is that it was kind of being seen that the senators were taking about a year to understand their role and then spending the last year in that role, not only trying to teach the new ones coming in, but trying to do what little bit they could with what they've learned. And so the thought is with a 3-year model, it gives enough turn. It reduces the turnover of how quickly the senators come in and out, and it gives them enough time to bring up to speed on how to do their role and to better represent us as a whole. With regions, this means that regions are going away. This is the last year of our region. So after FY17, there will be no more regions. And a lot of the reasoning behind this has been that regions were originally set up when we were more central to the US, and now we are a global organization. So how, as a global organization, do we best represent our members as a whole? So the regions will be going away, but that doesn't mean that there aren't opportunities still within the section. There'll be things coming down the pipeline soon of how other people can get engaged within the sections or within the regions, well, within the sections, and then how to get involved within society as a whole. The second one, collegiate member voting rights. So the collegiates now have the right to vote. They don't have a right to vote within the professional sections in the areas of where they are because they are members of their college sections. They have the right to vote for the society roles. So this is a big step for students, is being able to vote for our people, and it also puts it more out there that people that are running for office need to get to know their members as a whole. So I think this will be a good thing. We'll know more about how to tell the students going forward how to prepare for this. The third one, the competency model for nominations and election, it passed. This is more starting, instead of having this historical guideline of the steps of rules you should take within the society of doing local stuff and then regions and then going to the society level. This competency model will make it so that we'll be looking at people's background as a whole and seeing what you know as a whole to see if you qualify for the role. So it changes the vetting process for a lot of roles within the society. So that's what this one is defining. The standing committees is more, that one passed as well. That one is more defining the roles of the committees, the 5 main committees within the society, and cleaning up the verbiage to remove the region's information in there. And the MAL president one is more, it's not getting rid of the role. The role is still in place. The role will still be present and active in the society. It is just taking out the definition of the MAL president within the society level and bringing it down into the definition in terms of the MALs at large. So for more information on how these will be happening, you can see this on the Senate website that Theresa has lovely posted here on this page.
Yep, and for those that don't know, MAL is a member at large, and the members at large are people that are either not close to a section and choose to be kind of an independent member of the SWE Society under the member at large umbrella, or maybe they're near a section but they can't get to the activity, so they choose to be on the MAL side. So that is a membership association that you can choose when you're selecting your section. But we do still hope that you engage with us at the SWE PNW level.
Thank you for that, Theresa. So going on to region business, with the regions now going away, we will monthly be letting you know the steps that we're taking to not get rid of the footprint of the regions, but how it's going to be absorbed by society as a whole. But this is something that cannot be absorbed from society. So if you have an Amazon Smile account and you have it set for Society Women Engineers, specifically for the Seattle, Washington area, and you would prefer to give it to SWE PNW, you just need to change it to Society Women Engineers Pacific Northwest SWE PNW, and we have an infographic up in the corner of what that looks like within Amazon Smile. And with the new Senate model, this is the last year that we will be nominating someone from Region J for senator, but they will also be our first 3-year term senator. So it can be a collegiate and a professional. You just have to meet the new competency model. If you know of anyone or if you're interested, let us know. We will be giving recommendations to Lisa, who is our Region J senator or Region J governor, and then she will be getting the committee together to vet the candidates properly.
All right, thanks, Elaine, for all that great information. And we will be putting links to the Region J Senator blog, the Senate, as well as the leadership competency model out in the comments/description for this event once we post it after the live broadcast, so that everybody can find that easily as they listen to this lovely replay. So with that, we are going to go over to our rotating topic and talk with Sonia about professional development. So without further ado, everybody say hi to Sonia, our VP of Professional Development for FY18.
Hi everybody, I'm Sonia. I'm currently the VP of Professional Development. So just wanted to start quickly with a little bit about me. So you can probably see the slide there. So basically, I have a degree, an engineer by training, as I've mentioned. Currently I work for Amazon in their logistics group, more actually on the business side. Now I went back and did my MBA, so I've kind of moved over to a little bit more of the business side of things, but definitely still try to stay as much involved with the engineering world in my free time, I like to be outside, obviously, soccer, hiking, skiing, pretty much anything outdoors. And so living here in the Pacific Northwest, I think suits me well. Really enjoy kind of volunteering and doing mentorship. I do mentorship in a lot of different ways. I'm still very much connected with my undergrad. Went to UCLA and then my business school, Carnegie Mellon. So very in touch with the school still. And do a lot of mentorship here at Amazon and through SWE and other organizations. And so I really enjoy kind of giving back to my community. Last year I was the membership engagement chair on the EC committee for SWE PNW, and thought it would be a good opportunity to kind of move to a different role this year in PD. So really excited to be working on different types of events that kind of we can coordinate with different companies and speakers, and also do some level of social events. So I became involved with SWE a long time ago at UCLA when I was an undergrad, and I served on the SWE board at that time as the Evening with Industry chair, the internal vice president, and I really took an active role in SWE at that time, and just really enjoyed kind of, especially the Evening with Industry event. I thought it was a really great event to get kind of a more intimate interaction with a lot of these company representatives, because that one's the one over dinner, followed up by a career fair. So when I moved out to Seattle a couple years ago, I definitely wanted to get back into SWE and kind of see how I could contribute. So. All right, so who's who on the PD committee? So right now we have a few different folks that are part of the committee. So we have Robin Srinivasam, who just actually moved here recently from Wisconsin. And so she's helping out this year quite a bit. She actually has been the one leading the Blue Origin tour, which Elaine had mentioned is coming up here next Wednesday, and I'll talk about that in a minute. And then Nicole Woon, she recently moved out here as well. She works for Microsoft. She used to serve as the professional development chair on the Boston SWE section. So it's great that she's here. It'll be a great addition to our committee. And then we have Janae Fong and Belinda Casanova. Definitely still looking for more volunteers. In the slide there at the bottom, you can see the email address that you can reach me at. A lot of different things that we're trying to plan for PD this year in terms of events and workshops. And so it would be great if you're interested, send me a note. I would love to talk to you and kind of see where you can help us out this year. All right, so what's been going on with PD so far in FY18? So we had a social networking event in mid-October. This was the escape room and a happy hour that was followed. We had about, let's see how many of us are pictured there, 10, I guess it was. Went and to the escape room. It's Puzzle Break actually in Capitol Hill. And we did awesome. Actually, we escaped with 15 seconds to spare. So you have a full hour to basically solve different types of like riddles, I would say, and puzzles, and work together. And basically the idea is to find different keys and unlock different things and get out of this room that you see us in there. And we escaped with 15 seconds left, which was pretty impressive to the staff there. They kind of saw our interactions in the beginning, and they knew that we all didn't know each other. So some of us ladies you see in the photo there have know each other, but some of the members, you know, I had personally never met, and so they kind of noticed that, and actually they were really impressed with the fact that we were able to kind of just meet each other and work together so well, and manage to escape that room. So they have different rooms at the puzzle break, and this room I think they said it has like a 14% pass rate. So it was pretty cool actually that we escaped. So we got a photo there. And I think, you know, people really enjoyed it. So I would like to do one of those again, I think later in the year. So, and then we went to Paquitos after and celebrated over food and drink.
I have to say, Sonia, that's really cool. I'm so glad that you guys escaped with the 15 seconds to spare. So,
I know. So were we. We were all walking across the street afterwards, and we were kind of just talking about if we didn't escape, we would have all been like really upset. So yes, it's a good thing.
So shout out for the plug for SWE PNW Sweetsters working together as a team. Woot woot.
Awesome. All right. So what are we doing for the rest of FY18? So again, Blue Origin tour in Kent next Wednesday, November 15th. This was sold out within minutes, which was awesome. We've gotten a lot of communication actually after. Some folks are, you know, they can't attend this one. They're wanting to know when we're going to do another one. And so rest assured, we've talked about it. We're going to try to see if we can set up another one, maybe sometime next year. Marina, who's on our EC, works for Blue Origin, and so she's able to kind of set this tour up for us. And so we'll definitely try to do another one at a later time. We did it last year. It was great. I went down there to Kent, and I really enjoyed it. I think everybody else did as well. Very educational, very interesting company. So, you know, we'll try to see if we can set another one up sometime next year. We will be setting up other plant tours or tech tours, as we call them. We did one earlier this year in February, I think it was, at an Amazon Prime Now site. I went ahead and set that one up. We'll definitely do one of those sometime early next year as well. So more to come, but definitely understand folks are interested in learning about it. So we'll see what we can do next year. The other event we've got, at least to close out the year from a PD perspective, is the holiday party. So I'm currently working through this right now, trying to secure a date and location. More details to come on this one. Just to recap, for those of you who did attend the holiday party last year, we hosted it at Glassy Baby over in Madrona. And that was a really, really cool event. I attended that one as well. We did some glass blowing activities. So we'll see. I'm still working through this one, but we should have a venue confirmed hopefully here in the next few days. So more to come on that as well.
All right, that sounds great. I'm really looking forward to hearing the details as they shape up on that.
Yep, absolutely. All right, so interested in helping, here's what we're looking for. So as I mentioned, you know, I'd love if you're interested, even if you've got a couple hours a month, there are definitely things that we can use some help on from a professional development standpoint. So you know, the first thing that I listed here was event planning. So definitely looking for some ideas around different workshops and social events we can do next year. And workshops are really kind of anything from, you know, speaker events to, you know, someone kind of coming in and giving some kind of coaching or some educational, talk in their area of work. Resume workshops, cover letter reviews, mock interviews. So we're kind of looking for some support on helping us build out these types of events, and obviously assist in the logistics aspect in terms of finding venues and securing, folks to come if we do end up doing speakers. So just generally looking for support on event planning and ideas. This one is, I listed a few hours each week, and that varies, right? There you might be spending a little bit more time one week and not as much time another week. But I think it's and we can, depending on what you'd like to do and what you're interested in, we can work through that. But that shouldn't be too much of a commitment, especially because I've got a couple folks on the committee already, but definitely just looking for some more support. The next three things, and we've listed them separately because they are kind of different in terms of what we're looking for support on. So the first one, the book club location host. So this one is hosting a book club gathering, and this one would be, we've traditionally done book club in physical locations, and so we're definitely open to hearing different ideas on what folks kind of want to see with book clubs. And when we say location host, this could be something where we do physical location and or virtual. And I think we're trying to figure out how this works for members and how members kind of receive potentially doing something physically or virtually or both, really, actually. So kind of looking for support on that in terms of someone kind of owning hosting this, and few hours each month is more so, again, we would have maybe one book club event a month, and so obviously there would be at least the hour there, but just doing any kind of planning around that. So again, kind of a limited role, but definitely looking for someone to take that on. And so it's not to say that this needs to be three different roles actually either. It could be one person kind of coming and being able to host and moderate. So we're open to that. We're flexible here. The next one is book club moderator, provide questions and moderate the discussion on selected books. So someone who's actually reading the material can facilitate a discussion would be great as well. And then the last one is having a team, folks that are kind of selecting what the material is that we look at. Something that we've talked about recently is kind of expanding book club to something other than just the actual books, right? So there's a lot of articles out there, TED Talks, podcasts, etc., that can just, I think, create a lot of really enriching discussions between folks, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a full-blown novel. And I think in some ways it's nice to actually change it up a little bit and maybe have a book one month and maybe a couple articles that we come and discuss. I think that there's just a lot of material out there that can really lead to some really great discussions, I think, between SWE members. And so would love to hear your guys' thoughts if you're interested at all. Material that you think that members would like to discuss. I'd love to hear from you. So.
All right, thank you, Sonia, for running through all things PD related today.
Yep.
For us. And I think there's a lot of great opportunities, like you said, for either small roles or large roles to help out on our professional development side of what we do as a section. So hopefully those listening to the live broadcast or the replay get inspired and shoot you an email and volunteer to help make it even a little bit better. So thank you. And with that, we're going to go over to our wrap up of our scheduled agenda items. And one of the first things I want to do before I forget is we did mention the We Local Portland dates for the conference, but there is a call out for speakers right now. And I believe the deadline for submitting abstracts is December 22nd. So if you are interested in submitting an abstract, please feel free to do that. If you want some help or need some ideas, we have several experienced speakers within SWE, some that are just coming off of WE 17 as speakers. So if you need some help, please feel free to email. I think the section rep email would be the right place to go, and we'll put that out in the comments as well. A few other things on our housekeeping side. We want to remind everybody that we have several Facebook groups to help kind of connect members together that have common interests. So we do have our SWE PNW member forum. We encourage everybody to join that because there's a lot of great discussion that happens there on articles, on some of our events or coordination and things like that. We just launched a SWE PNW at WE conferences event to help coordinate when people are going to conferences. It helped us put together a SWE PNW dinner when we were at WE 17. So if you're thinking of heading to any of the WE local conferences or the WE conferences in the future, please go ahead and join this group so that you can get the latest and greatest as we plan events at conferences. And then one of the other facets of our book club is we do have a book club group to help continue the discussions in the virtual space between the meetings. So we encourage you to check that out and join that. Next up, as always, pictures. We need your pictures. I am begging for your pictures. Please send them. You can find us on Instagram and Facebook to see the pictures that we post. It's at SWEP or at SWE.PNW on both platforms. Tag us in the pictures you take at events, and we will may feature your picture with credit, of course, on our page, album, and or website, because we'd really like to see some more pictures come and not just have it be from the officers in the coordination side. We want to see members participating and sharing their pictures as well. So we hope that you'll do that. And then finally, for our housekeeping and wrap up, we have several upcoming voice of customer surveys that we're going to be pushing out there. We're going to be doing one, like Sonia said, on the book club, because we're interested in hearing kind of what people want to see out of that in 2018 and where that goes. There is a submit an event idea that is out there as well, and we will periodically share that. And we're working on a few others to try to collect your feedback as members to help put your voice into how we plan our section events and how we proceed forward into the rest of FY18 and even into FY19 and beyond. So with that, I will open it back up for Elaine and Sonia. Did you guys have any other parting housekeeping or wrap up today before we go over into our Ask Me Anything part?
I would just say, you know, watch for emails and watch for polls and other conversations within the Facebook groups. We have some ideas for some just ad hoc member events coming up where you just come if you want to come. They won't be official. We'll take a picture if there's like a group of us or not. And as I learn things coming down from our regions going away, I'll probably be pushing stuff out through the Facebook groups first. So just, I highly encourage everyone to join our SWE member group forum to know what's going on, to see a lot of these things, as our email only comes out once a week.
All right, thanks, Elaine. Anything, last parting thoughts from you, Sonia, today?
Yeah, I think the one thing I would say is if you're interested in getting involved at all, and we totally understand that, everybody has, is a student or has, careers and that kind of thing, and you're busy. But if you're able to even, contribute a little bit, there's definitely roles and positions affiliated with our executive committee that we could really use your help and participation. And we're always looking to hear ideas from our members. And so if you're interested at all, I do suggest you reach out to us. We'd love to hear from you.
All right, great thought to end on as we open it up to our Ask Me Anything side of the event. So this is where I, as host, rely on my two fellow officers here to tell me if there has been any questions that have come in on our Facebook discussion side or on the live Hangout, and we give it a few minutes here as we manage that. So anything that we are seeing out there for questions?
No, I don't see any yet.
Nothing on Facebook right now either.
All right, we'll give it a few minutes just because I know that the live broadcast tends to have a slight delay, so people may not know we've officially entered the AMA. I do want to extend an additional thank you to Elaine and Sonia for joining me today and helping get the deck prepped and having a great conversation on everything that's going on with SWE PNW and with the region and the society and the SWE 17 Senate meeting and what that's going to look like going forward.
Thanks, Theresa, for hosting.
And I'm doing one last check here. I'm just going to go see if there's anything out in the member forum in the event that somebody posted something there. The benefit of having all of these platforms means that you can choose how you engage. The downside is when we do these Q&A things, sometimes questions don't end up in the most easy spot to find, even though we try to keep them corralled in the event discussion.
And we'll keep monitoring all of these different social media sites to see if there's questions after the fact. And we will answer them accordingly.
Yep, great point, Elaine. And what I would definitely encourage people is if you've got a question off of today's session, try to post the question in the event on the Facebook page. That'll be the best place to get the question seen as it relates to this event, or in the SWE PNW member forum. We do have several officers that actively watch and respond to questions in there, especially as it pertains to SWE business. So if we don't answer your question here today with the information we've presented, tag it up on the event page or in the SWE PNW member forum. And I think we've given it ample enough time for the live broadcast to catch up and tell us that we're in an AMA in terms of the live timing there. So one last call. There's nothing out on the YouTube and there's nothing out on the Facebook side. Sonia, Elaine, is that correct still?
Yep, that's correct.
All right. Well, on that note, I'm going to say again, thank you. And thank you to all those that listened live and those that are listening to the replay. We hope that you've gotten some great information out of this month's Digital Digest. And we will be going ahead and looking for our next Digital Digest to be that first full week of December. So probably the 5th, 6th, or 7th of December. So keep your eyes peeled for the next Digital Digest event. Thank you and have a great night.
Thank you.